$5 in monies. Because, why? Because Parker and Bowie voided their August 9th agreement, which is an exhibit in this court, and it makes it part of this agreement. They knowingly, with criminal intent, voided their agreement, knowing that they could frustrate justice. Now, I am entitled to, and as well as my partners back here, we're entitled to have access to records so that we can gain our business back. That's been taken under color of law.
Mr. McDermott.
Okay?
Okay, within the context of this case, what defense do you have to make at this moment in time when there is no complaint within this case against you? I don't think there's a complaint.
Your Honor, I have to disagree with the courts. Time and time again, I put forth motions and counterclaims asking for damages. Now, what the court did by not allowing the jury to stay in the jury box and consider and award damages once they had made a finding of fact, further violated my rights.
Did you, sir? What did the Court of Special did you raise that issue with the Court of Special Appeals?
Yes, I believe I did, Your Honor.
What did the Court of Special Appeals do with the issue?
The Court of Special Appeals said that they weren't going to consider they were not going to consider my
footnote, right?
No, they weren't going to consider my appellant's brief because they figured it to be frivolous. Okay? On the second hand, the Court of Special Appeals comes back and awards attorney's fees of $2,000 or more for me and $5 to Mr. Colombo to punish him for representing Mrs. McDermott. Okay? And they used 80% of my briefs in formulating of their opinion.
Let me do this. I think that you've made the strongest argument you can in reference to your motion to require production of documents in this issue. You've given the strongest responses to the questions of the court as they may relate to your motion. Let me find out whether or not your wife is joining in your motion through Mr. Colombo.
Yes, Your Honor, Ms. McDermott wishes to join in the motion for production.
You wish to say anything about the position of Mrs. McDermott on the issue?
No, Your
Honor. Mr. Harden, anything you have to say?
No, this is just another ridiculous waste of the court's time. This case is concluded. The judgment has been affirmed by mandate of the Court of Special Appeals. There is nothing left to do in this case, as the court wisely points out. There's no documents to be exchanged. I'm surprised that Mrs. McDermott joins in such a motion, but the bottom line here is, as I view this as a motion to compel, the way that I understand Mr. McDermott's argument, and I don't know any rule or any case law that I've seen that allows, after a case is completed and the final judgment is rendered, to reopen discovery. So I would ask the court to deny. First of all, I think the court wouldn't have any jurisdiction at this point in time because there's no complaint or case before the court. And second of all, even if the court could decide it, it would be moved because the case is over.
You get the last word once again, Mr. McDermott.
Okay. Your Honor, I have to disagree with him because in your memorandum, okay, that you issued to me, you explicitly said that when I filed while the case was still on appeal, I filed a motion for discovery and a motion for bad faith. These motions, you sent me a correspondence saying that the case would have to be put on abeyance until it was returned from the Court of Appeals. Okay, it didn't say that it wouldn't be discovered. It says that these motions would be put on abeyance until the return from the Court of Special Appeals. The Court of Special Appeals has now returned jurisdiction to this court explicitly. Okay. Every day that goes by, Mrs. McDermott and myself are subjected to more severe financial and economic duress every day. The court has made it clear that it's not willing to give any relief, and it's willing to shepherd and harbor Mr. Parker and Mr. Bowie through technicalities, not through its own will. If I may, Your Honor, I would like to read into the record a correspondence from the corporate attorney who gave testimony in this case.
It's not relevant to the motion to require production of documents.
It is. It's extremely relevant because if nothing else, I would like the court to allow me to put it into evidence for future proceedings. It's the.
Why don't you have it marked for identification. Okay. And it will be received in evidence as part of the record. So it'll be in the record.
Okay.
I'm going to, of course, object to any admission of evidence.
Yeah. Objection sustained. This received as part of argument, and so it's in the record.
And that in that case, Your Honor, I will stand on the record. There are 150 docket entries in this case. The evidence shows that the bad faith of the plaintiffs is they have never produced one document for requested under subpoena or discovery.
We'll have to, if you can give that copy to Mr. Hardin, he'll need it himself.
Okay.
Ms.
The court's going to rule on whatever it has to. It's unfortunate. I was in hopes that the court is fully aware that as of June 1st, there's a true test copy of the recorded liens in the Court of Records has been produced to this court, showing that the plaintiffs still hold $500,000 plus in liens against my property, and they have taken my business. Now, if that isn't justification for an evidentiary hearing, then we need to set a new rule and a new standard.
Well put. The defendant's motion to require production of documents is denied. Similarly, the motion for evidentiary hearing, there's a motion for evidentiary hearing. I believe that's the only other motion here. That's denied. The denial of these motions and the record that's been created here today, and by way of the filing of the motions, places this case in an excellent posture for you to present the issues to the Court of Special Appeals on appeals. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, Your Honor.
Likewise.
I should have it here somewhere. Let's see.
Maryland Court of Special Appeals, Maryland Court of Appeals, Road Boulevard, Annapolis, Maryland. They're the people behind this sign. They are the criminals who took my property. I'm standing in the parking lot of the Maryland Archives, where I plan to go right now. To try to obtain copies of earlier cases that were illegally dismissed in the Maryland Court of Special Appeals, Court of Appeals. I will be specifically asking specifically asking for 1995 1222 McDermott versus Kansas Associates, which was never heard, and I believe that the court destroyed all the motions and pleadings in that case. We'll find out what the Maryland Court Archives holds in store for us. For right now, we're going back into the Hall of Records. Robert C. Murphy Court of Appeal building, dedicated to the late Robert C. Murphy. Probably the last honorable judge Maryland ever had. He was responsible for putting Murphy's Law into effect, which is the adaptation of the federal rules of evidence into Maryland law. It makes no difference. This court could care less about evidence. All it cares about is corrupt attorneys. I'm going in now because the Maryland Archives does not have my 95-1222 case on file, and they said I have to check here to see if I can get a copy of it. I want to view it, and I am sure that there are no signed orders dismissing the case, as there have never been any signed orders in any court of appeals dismissing the actions. What a joke, huh? Let's see. Oh yes. Maryland symbol of justice. That's another joke. Court of Special Appeals.
Is that a camera?
Uh-huh. Well, I'll take
Video
it.
camera?
Yeah.
I just put myself on it.
No. Here we are leaving the Court of Appeals building, heading back across the street to the archives. Court of Appeals says that they have no records of any of the appeals. Everything's sent back to the circuit court level. Well, there's no signed orders in any of the circuit courts, so I assume that there's no signed orders anywhere. It's amazing. There are no signed orders in the Maryland Court of Appeals that are transferred to the Maryland Archives. However, if this is so, here's my official pass. How come I was able to find the signed orders disbarring Peter Parker and convicting him of fraud and conspiracy in the Maryland Archives? They came from the Maryland Court of Appeals, and they were signed by these judges. Oh, it only counts if you're a lawyer. Now I'll be heading up the road to the Maryland State House, where the first Continental Congress signed the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights. Let's see what they have to say about it. Won't be.
Oh, okay.
They apparently don't send any records from the Court of Appeals over to the archives. There are no records.
We've got some of their stuff.
Well, I know that that's the truth because I found them in there. The clerks of the court said that there are no.
Maybe, well, maybe they haven't.
Because that's where I first found out the guy I'm up against was a disbarred Maryland attorney, two-time federal felon who Representative Spiro Agnew.
Well, maybe we don't have them for the years that you want them for.
Well,
Because we
It
do
just-
have records.
yeah, it's just a shame that, you know, they keep lying to you.
No, I can't comment on that, so.
No problem. God bless. Have a good day. To the State House. First time I saw this. They built a statue to him. These are his achievements. Board of Public Works, Commissioner of the Treasury, that's a good tribute. God bless you. Maryland Senate. Let's go up the path here to the Maryland State House. That's the offices of the Maryland Legislature on the right side. Maryland State House in all its splendor. There's the Maryland House of Representatives. I believe there's 220 of them there. And over here we have the brand new Mike Miller Senate Office Building, and the older Senate Office Building up there. I believe there's about 100 of them. Mike will be remembered for a lot of things. Unfortunately, the demise of the Maryland legal system came when he was chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. This office right here, Joseph Valerio, is chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. Our system of justice has suffered greatly under their tenure. The new Mike Miller Federal Office Building. This is an office of the Judiciary staff. Many complaints have been filed. Not one response has ever been given. Not one member of the House or Senate of the state of Maryland. How y'all doing today? Deems it important that the Constitution of the state be protected and judicial tyranny and legal misconduct and fraud be addressed. Let's move up the road a little farther. Executive Office Building in the state of Maryland. Maryland Attorney General's office is right there. Will they give citizens help? No way. It's against their rules. Get a lawyer. We don't care how many lawyers screw you. Get a lawyer so some more can do it. Right next door to it, right there, is the office of the Maryland State Police. You go in there and ask them if you can file a criminal complaint against a judge or a lawyer, and they tell you there's no such provision in the Constitution, that they're barred from taking complaints. Are they only good to watch out for corrupt attorneys? Okay, let's see what this inscription says. Thurgood Marshall, first major victory in his life. Long struggle for justice, equality under the law for all Americans took place in the Maryland Court of Appeals, which then stood near this memorial in 1935. Marshall successfully argued for the admission of Donald Murray to the University of Maryland School of Law. This was the first steps on the road to Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, in which the United States Supreme Court in 1954 overruled the doctrine of separate but equal established by Plessy versus Frierson, 1896, through Thurgood Marshall fought to fulfill the promise held within the quotes above. The entrance to the United States Supreme Court buildings in Washington, D.C. equal justice under the law. I don't believe any of our justices today believe this fight was worthwhile, because they're all trying to dismantle it. Here we go. Governor's Mansion, State of Maryland. Paris Glendenning's home. The best friend of Peter Parker and Wayne Bowie. A loyal Prince George's County executive who rewarded corruption at every stage. In the background, you see, we have Maryland prisoners. They maintain the property. The governor's mansion gets free labor. Is it any wonder they want to keep the jails fulfilled with prison labor? It is a beautiful and fitting memorial. Now let's go up to the State House and see what the Constitution is supposed to have given us. Once again, the governor's residence. Governor Ehrlich lives here now. For how long, we'll have to wait and see. Once again, let's make use of that free labor. I was not aware of this plaque until just recently. Let's see what it says up close. The Maryland State House, built in 1772 to 1779. Capital of the United States, November 26, 1783. August 13th, 1784. In this State House, oldest in the nation, still in legislative use, General George Washington resigned his commission before the Continental Congress, December 23rd, 1783. Here, January 14th, 1748, Congress ratified the Treaty of Paris. Treaty of Paris to the end of the Revolutionary War. May 7th, 1784. Appointed here September 14th, 1786. The Annapolis Convention issued the call to the states that led to the Constitutional Convention. Registered National Historical Landmark. Off the TV. I believe it's important. Imagine being able to stand here and look straight down into the massive Chesapeake Bay in the port of Annapolis. It must have been fantastic. This is a better shot. I never learned about this stuff in school. If I did, I was too young and foolish to remember how important it would be later on in life. Maryland House Chambers. An architectural marvel. For being the oldest standing house in the nation. Gallery. And here are Maryland representatives. Yes, this is the tally board. When they vote, a red or a green light shows up, I assume. Each one of these members, or the successor, has received numerous requests for help in investigation into corruption in the Maryland courts. None of them, however, were willing to do anything. They were too busy running to the Court of Appeals to defend disbarred convicted federal felons so that they could come back in and represent them as lobbyists. Of course, everyone's aware that Maryland promotes disbarred attorneys to be lobbyists. Our governor ran to the courts in their defense. Many of the members of this very room here ran to the courts to defend Mr. Bruno, who has now since been under a second investigation. But this is what you call the selling of the government. Let's see, are these the same names over here? We should recognize everyone. These are the people charged with protecting our rights and liberties in the administration of our government. Why are they not doing so? We'll go back around. And here we go. To the Senate chambers. Let's see what they're up to. this. This is the man who helped us become a democracy. And this is a depiction of his resignation. The other figures in the background are a little hard to make out. And look at the magnificent areas and this magnificent marble stairway. Hard to believe that George Washington actually was here. What would he do now? Cry? This has been added since the last time I was here. It's a replica. Understand what the inscription reads? The ratification of the Constitution of the United States by Maryland, 1788. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's meaningless because the courts don't follow the Constitution anymore. Negotiating peace. The museum. Treaty of Paris. These are the people who made it possible. Should we forget them? Should we discard the Constitution? Should we allow judges to destroy this nation? Do we not have a duty to fight judicial tyranny? Judicial corruption, the destruction of our courts. This is what it's about, folks. It's about the sacrifices our founders made to give us liberty and justice for all. Or was that just a myth? Yes. This is where they stayed when they were in town. our founding fathers. And these were the people who were in attendance. Let me go up close to this one, so you all may recognize. These are the leaders who fought for justice, your rights, your liberties. And here are their names. Copy of the picture in the Great Hall. This is where it took place. And that is the man who made it possible. Each one of these documents has significance to every Marylander. Wow, this was a great meeting. The old Senate chambers. This is where it happened. Yes. This is where our founders resigned his commission. Might not get down here to do this again, so I need to get some close-ups. I know I have a ticket by now, but quite frankly, this is much more important. Beautiful setting. Prince George's County Circuit Court, Prince George's County, Maryland. This is the back side of the court. This is the new courthouse. Right here you'll find some of the wickedest judges in the nation. It's either they don't know the law or or they don't care about it. They rob most of our citizens of their rights, and all pro se litigants are treated like dirt. The old courthouse is under construction. It used to be Judge Mason's chamber right there. He was instrumental in denying my wife justice and myself justice. Yes, more of our tax dollars going to this court. We wouldn't need these enlargements if the court would allow victims' rights to, instead of perpetrating fraud on their citizens. These are the people who are responsible. Jack Johnson, William Missouri, Chief Judge. I know of at least 7 cases that I have prevailed in this court, and in 3 jury verdicts, and each and every one of them was reversed by Judge Thomas Smith or his close associates, all of whom knew that a fraud was being perpetrated on the court, all of whom believe they are above the law. All of whom had a duty under the Constitution to protect my rights. But they don't do that. Liberties for all is a joke in Prince George's County. Corrupt attorneys rule. While I'm here, I'm going to take a couple minutes to visit the County Administration Building. Supposed to be a hearing on predatory lending this afternoon. I don't want to miss it, since I do have $600,000 worth of judgments against me because of the wrongful actions of the Circuit Court of Prince George's County. Yes, this is where it starts in Prince George's County. I tried to build honest businesses in this county, and each and every time I was beat out of business because of corruption within the county. That was, huh? No, I'm producing a show for Prince George's County.
Where you gonna do it?
Huh?
Where you gonna do it? I gotta know what pictures you taking, so I know it's something going wrong.
It's called Secret Justice, You and the Courts. Another historical landmark. Here we go, Prince George's County Circuit Court. On the left, Prince George's County District Court on the right. The new building, as you saw, the old one was under construction. Yes, these are probably the most corrupt courts in the entire nation. At least the record will show that. For those who wish to know, there's a law library on the second floor. It's free to the public for all pro se litigants. The courts will try to deny you access to it, but it is a public library. Don't try to get justice in this courthouse. That's a no-no. Signing off for now. See one class close up. There you go. The doors to injustice. Right there. I hope you never have to go through them. Getting ready to leave out of here. All the areas were painted. Soffits repaired. Spackled, painted. Columns repaired. See, the kids have already taken down 2 of the handicap signs that were up there. Yeah. Pretty much done down here. I'll ask Greg what he wants to do, if he wants to paint the orange, the yellow on the safety corners.
Right there.
Oh, take it if it's any good, yeah. Yeah, the storage room's been cleaned out. The walls down here have all been done, touched up. Basement. Okay. Elevators all complete. Second floor lobby, all done. Everything complete, filed up. Going down the other hall. Everything down here is done, cleaned up. Back out. This is the new lobby. Everything is done, cleaned up. the outer lobby. First floor lobby again. Came out rather well. First floor, right side. Hallway. Everything done, cleaned up. First floor, left side hallway. Everything's done and cleaned up. Storage room, repainted, cleaned up. Need to replace the ceiling tile. Service elevator, larger of the two for moving in and out of. Came out rather nice.
Welcome to a chat with Glendora, America's champion of pro se litigants' rights and First Amendment rights. Stay tuned, we will be right back with our show.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Who are we? Acorn! When do we want it? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Who are we? Acorn! When do we want justice? When do we want it? Now! The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people
apple strudel she made. And I can tell you that is delicious. Thanksgiving morning. And you want to know something, folks. 1 hour ago, it was the sweetest warm weather. It was just like spring. And the sun was shining, and wouldn't you know, those miserable clouds would have to come in. Now this is an ominous storm. It's the turkey's revenge for killing all those turkeys, murdering them and terrorizing them and agonizing them, and then eating them. Stop the cruelty to animals. What a fierce storm. I keep you posted. I want to rescue my chair. but it would be foolish to go out into a storm like this. We're working on a great paper here. It's Glendora versus Charles F. Dolan, Cablevision Systems Corporation, that was abused by Peter Lane in the Rye City Court, and this is the appellant's brief that's being written. And the stage right now is jot thoughts and getting the papers in order. Many injustices, many injustices in this case, and it's a blot on America, a blot on the escutcheon. So this is the file on it right here, this whole drawer right here, this whole file drawer here. But it is a great work. Now you understand it's not my work. I'm just the amanuensis. But the call is for justice. Justice must be done. Not even in this case, which is small claims, substantial justice. Substantial justice means money. That is not done. Two people felt sorry for me because I was a widow and alone, and they invited me to Thanksgiving dinner. Two families. I want to tell you something, folks. I think that's very nice of them. But I would like to have them know the truth. I do not mind being alone. In fact, I like to be alone. Now, you think that's abnormal? You think that's an aberration? But I like being alone. And if I were alone, maybe I could accomplish the things on this to-do list, which I can't even find. It's covered up with so many legal papers. Thanksgiving. Every day is Thanksgiving for us. Every day, every hour, every quarter of an hour, we give thanks. Thanksgiving, Glendora is thankful for you, the Glendora TV audience. What do you think of this storm? I think this about it, that I'm glad you're not out in it, where you were all of your life. Out in the open and in the woods. You have a home. A halfway home. We're still searching for your person. Somewhere in this world is your person. There's a person made just for you. And we're looking for that person. The turkeys came on Thanksgiving Day. The turkeys came alive, whole and healthy and happy, and ate the bread that I put out for them. There were 4 or 5 of them before I was able to get the camera. Oh, turkeys, be careful. Take a look at that big bird. This is through the bathroom screen, facing the east. Now they're going, and I didn't have out enough food for them. I put the food out every day for them, but the squirrels eat it. That's okay, though. The squirrels and the opossum. Look at this one. This one must be the father. Isn't he huge? Goodbye, turkeys. They're going to the north. But how many are there? Aren't we missing some? No. Here's a couple more over here. Can you count them, folks? Is it 8? It's supposed to be 8. Mother, father, and 6 children. You think it's 8, folks? It's at least 7, isn't it? I want it to be 8. Because that means those gunshots didn't get them. Boy, do I pray hard when I hear those gunshots. Turkeys win, turkeys win, turkeys win. Idiots, go home and come to your senses. Something bad happened to you, so you have to go home. You don't like bread. Look, they left the bread. They didn't eat it. They don't like bread. Oh. Yeah, we're still trying to get together the record on appeal for Glendora versus Charles F. Dolan and Cablevision Systems Corporation, Supreme Court, State of New York. Appellate term. 9th and 10th.
Oh, yes.
Thanksgiving dinner, 2004, way out in the country.
8 old messages. Hi.
That's Zoe.
Hi, this is Dr. Polk calling from Manhattan School of Music. I rarely make phone calls like this, but I just wanted to tell Austin that I was completely blown away by his performance on Saturday. You are just a wonderful presence on the stage, and I just thought you were brilliant in the concert. So have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you on December 4th, and congratulations. Bye-bye.
No. Do it again, please. Don't cut it so close at the top. Don't cut it so close.
Well, I can't.
Give me a little lead-in from the message number 3 or whatever it was.
From the previous message?
Yeah, give me a little lead-in.
Okay.
And then don't cut it off.
It'll be message number 7 then.
Hi, this is Dr. Polk calling from Manhattan School of Music. I rarely make phone calls like this, but I just wanted to tell Austin that I was completely blown away by his performance on Saturday. You are just a wonderful presence on the stage, and I just thought you were brilliant in the concert. So have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you on December 4th, and congratulations. Bye-bye.
Plain pumpkin and pumpkin with nuts.
He doesn't like manual labor. He'll keep going with it.
Plain pumpkin and pumpkin with nuts.
Just wait here.
They import various breeds, you know, they're bigger breeds of domestic cats.
He's a coon cat, folks.
I didn't know that.
Coon cat.
No. No.
But Maine coon cats don't have tails.
No. I didn't know that.
Elisha, you were
Honey.
told no on that one.
Let me see your face, baby. Come here. Kiss me. Kiss me. Let me see your face. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
He came the wrong direction. It came to you.
He is walking proud, too. He is walking very proud.
I'll get his string.
Darling.
Dropped it down
When would
here.
you like me to make the present for you? We have for about 20 minutes or so. I want to make sure Holly gets
I
here.
still don't have a picture of your handsome face.
Okay, and we have to lift the name later. Look up.
Ashley.
So, whatever you want to do.
Ashley.
Killer dog.
Ashley. Is there too many people?
Killer
Too
dog,
many
man.
people, Ashley? Too many people?
I can see it, man. This dog will rip you
Oh,
up.
it's the day after, folks. Thanksgiving. It's just another day of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving every hour, Thanksgiving every day, Thanksgiving every quarter hour. This is telephoning. These are the calls that are later in the day. And then December, January, February, and all the way around to the next year. These are the calls that have been done that have to be done Friday, I guess. The today calls, those are the month calls, the today calls, and the week calls. And the day calls, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And this is the telephone log. And next call will be 5,931. Now, when did this count start? It started in October 18th, a year and a month ago, when Franklin died, and I had to call all of his people to tell him. And for some reason, I started enumerating them. But it gives you a good idea that that would be, in a year, I make something like 5,000 telephone calls. Sunshine. And the geranium, don't ever leave a geranium plant out in the cold to die in the wintertime. Bring it in and protect it and water it. And it brings you flowers all through January, February, March. All through every month of the year, every week of the year. This one is the second generation. Its mother and father passed on. And this is the progeny, and it's taking over. And before they pass on, they come to a spike. They come to seed. I showed you that. It was very, very interesting. So there's the two that have been around for years. This is the to-do list for Wednesday. And here's the things that are left on it and are being done this now. Here's the nice hymn. Teach me thy patience still with thee, and clearer, dearer harmony, in work that keeps faith sweet and strong, in trust that triumphs over wrong. .com does not like to have me sing. That's just the way you don't. She protests. She puts her hand over my mouth. Now here's the to-do list. For Thanksgiving. And everything's done here except going to the museum and finding Callaghan's Alphosis in Glendora versus Charles F. Dolan Cablevision Systems Corporation in the RICO, and they never had any statutory authority not to reward or award that $3,000. Go to the museum and find it, and find Glendora's answer to it. And then the record on appeal will be done for that case that's in the appellate term, 9th and 10th Districts, Supreme Court, County of Westchester. This is Friday's to-do list. And The first thing up is the videotape. Did you have a good sleep? Did you have good sleep? Now, what do you want? You want to eat? Or do you want to play a string game? What do you want? That was the biggest cat that I ever saw. What was his name? Cabot? That great big beautiful red-headed cat. And you know something? He came and he sat on my lap. Isn't it something how they know people who like cats? Alrighty. Let's see what we can do here with the crooked camera. Richard Wolfley took his little dog Buddy out to the dog run, and he had a lot to do that day, so he didn't get to it until the last minute, and it was pitch black out on the dog run. And Richard was leaning over, playing with Buddy, and a big dog, a huge dog, came from nowhere and collided with Richard and broke 4 teeth. 4 teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Broke the teeth right under the gun. And it's costing Richard $1,000 and a great deal of pain. Now isn't that a freak accident? As always, I'm a bad videographer. I should have had the camera on the dashboard of the Lincoln when we went to Russell's house. It was way up on a hill, and you approach it through a winding road, a helix, up on top of the hill. And I should have shown you the beams that he had in the dining room that he